Second Amendment states the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. It also allows for a well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state.
Right now, an estimated 300 million guns are owned by the American people. With such an increasing number of shootings and gun-related deaths, the Second Amendment is more controversial than ever before.
And there are occasions in American life one issue kind of galvanizes the country. And it seems to me that as we begin this year, that guns, violence, and their place in American lives have suddenly electrified the country.
32 people were killed and several more injured by a student at Virginia Tech on April 16, 2007. The shooter killed 20 elementary school children, 6 teachers, and his mother in Newtown, Connecticut on December 14, 2012.
Authorities say Omar Mateen arrived at Pulse Orlando, a gay nightclub and bar, armed with an AR-15 type assault rifle, a handgun, and an unknown number of rounds of ammunition.
It appears he was organized and well prepared.
By the time it was all over, at least 50 people dead.
At least 58 people now dead, more than 500 people wounded in a horrific shooting on the Las Vegas Strip. It's the deadliest mass shooting in modern United States history.
Multiple people have been killed, with children among the victims. At least 15 others were injured.
Why is the Second Amendment important to you?
I don't think we need it as much for militia. We have a good armed forces that protect us, but I think that we still want to have that right for self-defense and protection of our homes. I know that in the state we pass the Castle Doctrine so that nobody can come in and harm you, that you want to feel safe in your home. And I think that's what most people want to do, and I think that we want to make sure we have a right to defend ourselves.
The police can't be everywhere all the time, and that's one reason why in my state and around the country we believe that citizens ought to be able to defend themselves under appropriate circumstances.
Creating more gun restrictions stop gun violence.
You watch all these like Sandy Hook and all these firearm assaults and stuff like that. These regulations and these laws and these background things people do to go get a firearm basically apply to people who go get them legally. The criminals who use the handguns, first off, half of them are stolen or not registered. They don't have to go get a permit or any background check. They don't say, excuse me, let me go get a permit before I use this gun. So those laws that they're passing only affect the people who are law-abiding. So it doesn't serve a purpose. There's a lot of grandstanding, but they're not dealing with what really goes on. They're making it political rather than trying to solve it.
The United States is the only modern democracy with a constitutional right to bear arms. But why?
I think the Second Amendment is a large part of our national identity. I think we have a lot of other countries where they don't have the rights that we have here, and I think the right to bear arms is something that we find very important for us. So again, I think that's one of the reasons we kept it and we fight so hard to keep it.
Citizens in many countries do not have the ability to defend themselves against a tyrannical government. The Second Amendment was created to allow the colonists to bear arms to prevent the British from taking over by force. More recently, this can be seen with the Arab Spring in 2010, when 850 people were killed and around 6,400 were injured because they were armless against their corrupt government. In the summer of 2017, around 50 unarmed Venezuelans were killed by the corrupt government as well. Now, in 2018, protests are becoming more strictly controlled by the government in Iran, resulting in defenseless citizens and a death toll of around 20.
Since the Second Amendment gives American citizens the right to own guns, it is much harder to ban gun ownership. Countries like Iran and Venezuela do not have as easy of access to firearms due to the ease of passing laws against them or even banning them. This results in countries like the US having over 300 million guns, while Iran and Venezuela have less than 5 million guns in civilian hands.
Although the Second Amendment has caused many problems over time, I think that it is important people can protect themselves whenever necessary.
The right to bear arms has affected the lives of so many, so it is necessary that we continue to take the steps needed to ensure a safe country. That is why the Second Amendment is so important to me.
The Second Amendment is important to me because it allows people to protect themselves and their family in threatening situations.